it's okay.
not to be okay.
And we have to, accept that that's absolutely fine.
And it's absolutely okay not to be okay. And I think we have to learn that
Well,
again.
yeah, we have to learn it, accept it, and embrace it, because as society,
We tend not to
to
do
be
that.
okay as well.
No, exactly.
And we have to
we have to accept that.
we
So
have to accept it, because I think that's what's liberating, and
Yeah.
it's what's going to give us a lot of strength in the end.
yeah, absolutely.
So join us in this week's episode of
Get Real with the English
English
Sisters.
the number one podcast for anxiety relief with smiles.
So right today, yes, it's okay not to be okay, and we've heard that phrase, and it's becoming quite popular now.
Thank goodness.
Thank goodness, yeah, thank goodness it's okay. Even to talk about mental health nowadays, and to say,
I think that's been quite revolutionary, hasn't
very
it?
revolutionary, yes.
Because before it was considered to be totally taboo.
I think it's more now, post-pandemic, more people are actually
Yeah.
saying, I'm not actually feeling okay mentally.
Yes.
Not just physically, mentally, and, and it's okay to actually talk about that. And it was taboo, I think. Even though everyone said, no, it's fine. But really, if you said to someone...
I don't think it was fine.
I don't think so, no.
I mean, it was fine, but you were kind of considered to be kind of weak if you weren't okay mentally.
Yeah.
Which is awful.
Awful.
It's absolutely terrible.
And it's actually such a good sign of actually being strong if you can say, to somebody, I'm actually... Because what really the awful thing is that when you have to pretend to be okay, you're not congruent with yourself. So that there's this... It's not the same, is what I mean. It's like your exterior...
What do you mean by congruent?
Well, because your exterior might be smiling and saying, yeah, everything's fine, and, I'm doing really great. But inside, you know that there's something wrong, that you're not feeling that you're unsettled. There's anxiety, there's fear, there's some kind of... something wrong inside. You know that because you can feel it. But what happens is, I know that so many people, they don't say it. And so there's a pretend going on. There's a pretend face. There's a pretend all the time. And that's really tiring too, having to always put that face on, that pretend. I know we all do it to a certain extent because it's what's socially acceptable, isn't it? But when it becomes that you're really not feeling in balance inside, that's when it's no.
I think that we, as a society, we say it's okay not to be okay, but there still is so much stigma around it. So I think the more of us that speak up about it, that's why I think it was so important for us to make this episode.
Yeah.
Because the more of us... The more people
that talk about
it and post about it,
and
and express that that they're not okay, because I think we're humans. We're not okay sometimes.
Our brain is such an important part of who we are. I mean, we can't just say, my foot hurts and I'll go off and
just as we have physical ailments, we have mental ailments.
A lot of mental ailments too, and they're a really big part of who we all are. And sometimes, you're not okay.
It's been so neglected in the past, this whole side of us.
So neglected. And it's so, how are you? Oh, good, thank you. All that. Okay, you can say good thank you to people you don't know. But when you're actually talking to like friends
or
family and people that
or even colleagues at work, it's okay to say at work you're not okay. You need a mental health day. Thank goodness that is now acceptable. Thank goodness.
In a lot of companies, it's still not acceptable.
Yes, but in a lot of the more evolved ones, it is.
Yeah. Thank goodness. Thank goodness. You can actually say, I'm actually not okay. I'm feeling really stressed out, or I'm really nervous about this, or I'm overwhelmed. There's so many feelings that you're just not quite right. and yeah, definitely so happy it's actually coming out.
Because I think the thing that people forget is that mental health is connected to physical health. So in the past, you could say you might say, I've got a migraine. But the reason you've got a migraine is because you're stressed out and you're like, your whole body is saying, I need rest. And yet, it was okay to say you had a migraine, but it wasn't okay to say I need a mental health day. I'm not okay mentally. I need to just reset and recharge.
I think a lot of the time we didn't used to have the vocabulary, because if you don't have the right words, then you can't express.
If a mental health day didn't exist, I mean, people have invented that vocabulary for us to be able to use now.
Yeah, even the word mental used to be like taboo.
Yes,
mental
taboo.
health. Oh, mental used to mean like crazy, and it was very bad.
Yes.
Anything to do with mental hygiene. What's wrong with you?
Yeah.
Oh, creepy. No, stay away from it. Really, I mean, thank goodness it's just becoming more and more normal. We have to normalize it by just talking about it until the cows come home, all the time, until it's just so normal, especially for the younger generation as well, but also for people of our age, because we're the ones with the taboo. Maybe the younger you are, the less you're going to have this awful stigma and
attached to you.
For everybody really. Because a lot of the time there are young people that live with people of our age. Obviously they're caretakers or so it's also good for the younger generation to be able to say, actually, no, I'm not okay, and I know that's okay too.
Because if you normalize it, then it just becomes like anything. I've got a backache today.
I've got a cold. Yeah, so what? Oh, it's not a big deal. Have you got a cold, darling? All right.
Yeah, so what do? You take care of yourself.
And the same way with mental health. I'm not actually feeling okay. Okay, do you need to go and see a doctor?
Yes.
A mental health expert, a therapist? That's okay.
Yeah. Or do you need to just have a couple of days to recharge and chill?
Yeah, or let's figure out what's going on. Maybe this is too much for you. Maybe you're not. Sometimes you can not be okay because you're not challenged enough.
Exactly.
Because you're feeling like an emptiness in your life, kind of like you avoid. You're not quite sure why. Maybe you kind of don't really know what you
lack purpose or meaning.
You lack purpose, and it's like you kind of feel bored, but you're not sure if it's boredom. You're not quite sure what it is. And I think if you just actually say to the people that care for you, saying, instead of just saying, I'm okay, I'm actually not okay, but that's okay too. I'm trying to figure it out, whatever. Definitely, the more we talk about it, the more it becomes okay. And just nothing to even, just normal. I want even more men to be discussing
because
this.
As people are accepting that they can go and see a therapist now, a psychologist, a psychiatrist.
In Europe, it didn't used to be that common.
It was completely taboo before, there was something very, very seriously wrong with you if you had to go and see someone. Which is absolutely ridiculous. It's like saying you can't go to a fitness class or something,
or you can't go to a doctor just because you've got, I don't know, something, your hand hurts. I don't know. You can't go to a doctor for that. That's ridiculous. No, we would all just think it's normal to get your body fixed. But when it comes to your mind, it's as if it's not.
Because it was like an enigma for so long.
Because you can't see it, I think. Because you can't see it, but you can feel it. So the only way, and nobody else can see it either. That's it. It's like nobody else can ever understand what you're experiencing.
But no one else can see that you've got
especially if you're
that your elbow hurts or something.
Well, if it's all swollen and red, they can see it.
Yeah, but if it isn't.
If it isn't, they don't know. But they can't. It's more accepted, isn't it? You go to. It's more accepted. It's a bit like having a headache, I suppose. People can't see the pain that another person's experiencing. I remember when I was little, I used to say, I've got a headache. And I remember our mum had never even experienced headache. So she would always say to me, darling, I don't really know what the pain is, but I can understand you're in pain. And she would always be a darling, and help me. She would say, I wish you wouldn't have to experience this pain. because I don't know what it feels like to have pain in my head.
How lucky was she?
She was so lucky. But for both of us, we've regularly had headaches throughout our lives, so we know what that is. And yeah, I don't know, I've lost track now. But anyway, yeah, it's kind of like this mental anguish,
I think
mental pain.
the what's so freeing about saying it's okay not to be okay, because if you can say it as soon as you're not okay, it won't spiral into like a really deep depression or something really, really serious, because as soon as you recognize that you're not feeling okay, you can take action and go and see someone about it, or go and get help, or just have a few days of self-care. The thing is that when you ignore something for a long time and you pretend it is okay, then in the end, that's when it starts getting really, really bad, where one day you just can't get out of bed and, you know, everything's dark.
You have this classical nervous breakdown, like they used to call it, you know, this burnout.
Yeah. So I think that's the lovely thing about it. If we can all start saying we're not okay as soon as we start feeling the signs of not being okay at the beginning.
Yeah, right at the
then
beginning.
it's very easily treatable. It's like prevention instead of a cure, isn't it?
Yeah, it's like brushing your teeth, isn't it? Just saying, how am I feeling today? I suppose you just have to. It's like those lovely new schools that now I know about in some parts of, I think it's in the UK, they sit the little ones down in a little circle and they ask them how they're feeling. I mean, that certainly wasn't done in our days.
Oh, no,
just be quiet and shut up, sort of thing.
Give a monkey's how
and
you're
now
feeling.
they're asking these little ones, how are you feeling today? And they might say sad or happy. I don't know what they actually do, but I was so happy when I read this article because I thought, gosh, that's actually, you know, helping the future human beings become more intelligent emotionally and understand. That's such an important part of life, understanding your emotions.
If you don't understand your emotions, how can you even live life to the full? You can't have proper relationships. You can't have anything.
Express yourself, and you're always hiding and saying, yeah, I'm okay, brushing it off day by day until, like you said before, then it becomes more chronic and it becomes like more. So yeah, even if it is chronic and you realize by the time you're listening to this podcast, you might even be listening to it because you know you're not really okay, you can still do something about it. You know, you can really just, you know, first of all, you admit it to yourself.
And then I think just text someone
tell
about it, or tell someone, and, you know, they will help you, because you don't have to do it all on your own either. That's the thing. You don't have to do everything by yourself. There is help out there. There will be people close to you. And if you haven't got anyone close to you, you can reach out to people and they will help you. So
you can even just go to your GP and say, look, I'm not feeling okay. And I don't know what it is.
Exactly.
And maybe they can refer you to somebody. It doesn't mean you have to be a genius and know exactly what's wrong with you.
No.
Sometimes you just don't know. You don't have the words to describe it. You can't really. But that's when the mental health experts can help you so much.
Exactly.
And they can dramatically change your life. And you can begin to understand that, you know, this is, it's not only treatable, but it's resolvable. And you can feel like you're kind of, like how you really are supposed to be feeling, but not supposed to in a forced sense, but like how you were designed to be.
Exactly.
Yeah. And so, yeah, it's okay not to be okay is really important for us to kind of have like a little slogan in our heads, I think.
Well, I think it should be part of our vocabulary, of everyone's.
Yeah. I mean, I catch myself sometimes, you know, pretending I'm okay when I'm not really. Yeah. And even though I'm
I always know if I'm not okay,
but then I know it. I know it too. I know I'm not okay, but you know, I think it's so easy kind of to fall into that
It's easy
trap.
to fall into the trap of just pushing everything under the carpet and just pretending you are okay when you're not. And then
don't really want to go down that dark road. I
can't cope with that now.
Distractions.
But the thing is that if you do cope with it, I mean, I remember, like, if you go back a long time when we were little, like the next door neighbour would come and have a chat with my mum, and you could see that she wasn't okay because you might be, she had teary eyes or something.
Yeah.
But I think for women it might have been a bit easier because they were, we always chat to each other and that. But for men, it's harder because they don't
really
have
hard.
that. They don't have that cup of tea and that chat. I mean, some of them do.
I'm so happy that men are sort of more social. It's becoming more acceptable to be more vulnerable and
So
to say things like that.
You can just even have a chat with someone and a cup of tea or something and just say, no, I'm not okay. And then just when you do that, then you just feel better.
And then what's most likely to happen is that your friend will probably say, you know what, I'm not okay either.
Yeah, because you remember, like, when you weren't okay at work, how would you just come to me and I just say, just have a day off then, call in sick. And you go, but I'm fine. I go, you're not fine.
Yeah.
But I haven't got any physical symptoms. I go, yeah, but mentally, even then, no one used to talk about mental health. We weren't therapists. We weren't hypnotherapists. We knew nothing. I mean, we knew just what everyone else did, but we weren't. And I used to think, no, you should have a day off.
Because I was going through a lot of stress in my private life.
You were highly stressed, yeah. And I think you shouldn't be, you shouldn't be working right now. And you'd have a day off and you would feel better.
Yeah.
So just doing that, it's like taking these baby steps, these little cups of tea, and just saying, no, I'm not okay.
Yeah, I think once you actually verbalise it and just say it out loud, because so many of us are just so used to just going like little robots on day after day and hiding and masking and distracting ourselves on social media, drinking, whatever it is that we do to kind of like avoid the real feeling that we have inside. And so I think if you just get used to saying it, it's okay not to be...
I think people undermine how much they're going through as well.
Oh, yeah.
Because they think, oh, no, that's normal. Everyone does that. Everyone's going through something.
We're all tired. We're all stressed.
Yeah, everyone's stressed. What's wrong with me? Why can't I cope?
Yeah, why do I have to be the one?
Yeah, why do I have to be the weak one? Why do I have to be like that? But
you're actually not the weak one. You're the strong one, because you're the one that actually is beginning to understand your emotional state. If you start to
understand that it is okay not to be okay, and we do cover things up, to start uncovering and start saying, what areas of my life am I lacking? Is something missing?
And it can be really scary too. And we can appreciate it's scary.
Because it's so easy to just keep going on and repeating Groundhog Day.
Hide the dust under the carpet. Hide what it is that you're not okay with, or the feelings of frustration or whatever.
And tomorrow's another day and I just get on with it kind of mentality.
Exactly, yeah. That is...
Just get on with it.
Just get on with it, yeah. But then there's some...
Well, just get on with saying you're not okay. That's what I say.
Yeah, just get on with saying it. It's okay not to be okay. Yeah. I'm actually not okay. That's okay. That's just, let's normalize it. It's okay. You're not okay. That's fine. And
the beautiful thing about saying it's not okay, that there will be so many rewards that you'll reap afterwards, because
so many people that
you'll have the time to heal mentally and physically, and then afterwards you'll be able to you will be able to do whatever you wanted to do and be productive in the way you wanted to be productive. It's just like it's like
it's taking the mask off and saying, sometimes, I'm not, it's okay, I'm not okay. And everyone expects you to say, yeah, you're okay, aren't you? You got to just be a little bit brave and say, no, I'm actually not okay. Yeah. And then people... There are people who want to help you, and they love you, and they understand you, because we're all the same. The irony is that 99% of us pretend we're okay, but we might not actually be okay. Like what we used to say during the pandemic, we weren't feeling okay. No. We were stressed. We were frightened.
Yeah, just today I was thinking what a massive trauma we've all been through. And I still had like a bit of post-traumatic stress from it.
And we understand
And I think,
You know,
and we're so fortunate compared to other
we
people
can
that have
talk to
been
each
through
other
it.
about it.
But it's been horrific.
Yeah, so let's face it.
We've all been through the worst trauma that anyone could have been through, basically. There are worse things always.
War and
everything, tragedies, but
this is not.
But just because someone is going through what we consider to be worse than us,
yes,
doesn't mean that our pain is invalid. It's not.
It's like if you've got a friend that maybe is dealing with like cancer, and you think, gosh, I can't tell her or him that I'm not okay because what's wrong with me? It's just my head. I'm just feeling, I just don't feel good. No, that's important too.
Yeah.
Because that is also something that needs to be looked at and addressed and seen.
Yeah, it's like an open wound. If you had an open wound on your arm, you wouldn't just ignore it. You would medicate it and cover it and look after it and put a plaster on it or get stitches or whatever. So the same goes for your mental health. It's okay to say you're not okay, and it's okay to get help.
And it's very good to say you're not okay if you really aren't okay. So, let's go for it.
So let's go for it. So follow us on social media and tell us how you're feeling.
Yeah.
And if you're not okay, we're here to support you, and we're sending our love to you. And know that it's okay not to be okay, and then we're not okay some days as well. And everything you see, like on social media, where everyone
just sort of pretending to be
okay and having all these fancy dinners and doing fancy things, and half of it's not true anyway. So
no. Yeah, so and inside we can't see what's going on.
And some of those people that look so happy, they're not okay as well, and they need help too. So we're all in the same boat.
Let's break those barriers down and just accept it.
Lots of love and smiles from the English Sisters. Oh, do come and follow us at Get Real with the English Sisters and the English Sisters, and come and see our YouTube video too. Bye-bye.
Bye.